Something strange is happening in pole vault. In just the first 2 months of 2026, more athletes have cleared 6 meters than in any similar stretch in history. But one jump stood far above the rest, because this weekend Emmanuel Corrales launched himself over 6.17 meters, a height that, until now, only one man had ever cleared. And that man is Armand Duplantis. But here's the crazy part. For the last 5 years, pole vault has basically belonged to one athlete. World records, Olympic gold, world titles. Every major competition ends the same way. Duplantis wins. Everyone else fights for second. But this weekend, something happened that hasn't happened in years. A different athlete jumped into territory only Duplantis has ever reached. And suddenly, the most dominant event in track and field might finally have a challenger. Because Emmanuel Corrales just produced a jump that shocked the entire sport. And the craziest part? Right after clearing that historic height, he went straight for the world record. But before we break down how this happened and why it could change pole vault forever, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's get into it. The moment Corrales entered the Greek Indoor Championships, the competition was basically over. That's what happens when a world-class athlete competes in a smaller national field. But this meet wasn't really about winning. It was about form. And the first sign that something special was coming appeared at 5.9 meters. Corrales floated over the bar like it wasn't even there. No panic, no last-second adjustments, just smooth, effortless clearance. What made it even more impressive is that in previous years, 590 was a height he used to battle with at global championships. Now he was clearing it like a warm-up. Then something interesting happened. Instead of jumping straight to his personal best, Corrales asked for 6.07 meters, 1 centimeter below his lifetime best. Why? Because after spending the entire 2025 season chasing Armand Duplantis, that height no longer meant much to him. It was just another step and he cleared it. Not perfectly, a little messy in the air, but still successful. Then came the moment that shocked everyone in the stadium. The bar was raised to 6.17 meters, 9 centimeters above his personal best. In pole vault, athletes usually move the bar 2 or 3 centimeters at a time. Corrales skipped straight into historic territory. He sprinted down the runway, planted the pole, and launched into the air. The vault looked incredible. As he rose above the bar, there was space everywhere. His hips cleared comfortably. His chest barely brushed the height. From several camera angles, it looked like he had nearly 10 centimeters of clearance. That wasn't just a personal best. That looked like a 620 type of jump. Just like that, Corrales became the second highest pole vaulter in history. And then he did something even crazier. He raised the bar to the world record. For the first time in years, someone other than Duplantis was attempting that height. But the moment he stood on the runway again, you could see the difference. The confidence dropped. Those attempts look completely different. Because the mountain that Duplantis stands on is still incredibly high. Corrales didn't come close to clearing the world record. But that isn't really the story. The real story is how he reached this level. Throughout the entire 2025 season, Corrales used a very unusual strategy whenever he competed against Duplantis. Every time Duplantis cleared a height, Corrales would skip it, because clearing that same height would not help him win the competition. Instead, he would jump straight to the next bar, often a height far beyond anything he had ever cleared before. It meant missing out on easier personal records. It meant brutal losses on paper, but it forced him to constantly attack bigger and bigger heights, over and over again. And now the results are showing. Over the last 13 months, Corrales has improved his personal best by 17 centimeters. 17 centimeters. At the elite level of pole vault, that is an enormous improvement. During that same time, Duplantis improved his world record by only around 4 centimeters. The gap is slowly closing. Now there is a vaulter who has spent an entire season training himself to attack heights that once seemed impossible. Corrales probably will not break the world record tomorrow. And Duplantis is still the undisputed king of pole vault. But something important has changed, because if Duplantis has even a slightly imperfect competition, a height like 6.15 meters, which would have won almost every major championship in the last decade, might not be enough anymore. For the first time in years, pole vault might finally have a real challenger, and the next time these two athletes meet on the runway, the pressure is going to feel very different.